You're 68. You try to eat right. And every week, fish is on the menu. It's supposed to be healthy. Everyone says, eat more fish, but your knees still ache. Your memory feels slower. And your sleep? Restless. Could the fish you thought was helping you actually be making things worse? We've been told for decades. Fish is the perfect protein. Good for the heart, great for the brain, easy to digest. And that's true for some fish. But after 60, your body changes. You're more sensitive to toxins. You recover slower from inflammation, and your kidneys, brain, and joints are less forgiving when the wrong food keeps coming. In this video, we'll reveal 6 types of fish that older adults should avoid at all costs, especially if you want to stay sharp, strong, and mobile. For each one, you'll hear why it's risky, what symptoms it causes, who should avoid it, and most importantly, what to eat instead. Let's begin with the biggest offender, tilefish and other high mercury predators. Meet James. He's 73, retired, and used to fish every summer. He loved tilefish. Firm, rich, satisfying. But last year, something changed. His hands began trembling. He had trouble focusing on conversations. And he started forgetting small things. Names, keys, directions. His doctor ruled out stroke. Blood tests were fine. But then, a toxicology screening revealed high mercury levels. Where was it coming from? The tilefish in his freezer. Biohazard. Why tilefish is dangerous for seniors. Tilefish is one of the highest mercury fish in the ocean alongside king mackerel, swordfish, shark, big-eye tuna. These are large predator fish that live long and eat smaller fish, accumulating mercury as they age. Mercury is toxic to the brain, nerves, kidneys, and heart, especially in aging adults. After 60, your body clears toxins slower, is more vulnerable to neurodegeneration, reacts faster to inflammatory triggers. Result? Even small mercury buildup can cause memory lapses, muscle weakness, hand tremors, mood changes, worsening balance. James switched to safer fish. 3 months later, his symptoms began to fade. He says, "I didn't know fish could make me feel that bad, but now I only eat what my body can handle." Yellow circle. What to do instead? Avoid tilefish, king mackerel, shark, swordfish, big-eye tuna. Choose salmon, especially wild-caught, sardines, trout, herring, anchovies. These are low in mercury and high in omega-3s, supporting brain, joint, and heart health. Sparkle's deeper truth. Not all fish are created equal. And after 60, your body remembers everything you feed it, especially the toxic parts. Eating the wrong fish once isn't the danger. Eating it every week is what slowly steals your strength. Farmed tilapia and salmon. Inflammation on a plate. Linda is 70. She wanted to eat healthier, so she switched from red meat to fish. 3 times a week, she'd cook tilapia or salmon, lightly seasoned, pan-seared, served with vegetables. It felt like the perfect senior-friendly meal. But a few months in, her joints were stiffer, her hands ached more, and she had new pain in her hips and lower back. Her doctor adjusted her arthritis meds. But the pain didn't stop until she switched the fish. DNA, the problem with farmed fish. Not all tilapia and salmon are bad, but the ones that come from large-scale farms? They're a recipe for inflammation in older bodies. Here's why. Prohibited. What's wrong with most farmed tilapia? Very high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, right-pointing arrow, promotes inflammation. Often fed corn and soy-based pellets, not natural aquatic food, may contain antibiotics, pesticides, and microplastics. Raised in crowded tanks, right-pointing arrow, higher risk of disease and chemical treatment. Prohibited. What's wrong with farmed salmon, especially from Chile, Norway, Asia? Often dyed to look pink. They're gray in reality. High in PCBs and dioxins. Known endocrine disruptors. Risk of parasites and chemical residues. Poor omega-3 quality compared to wild salmon. For seniors with arthritis, heart disease, gut sensitivity, autoimmune issues. These fish can worsen pain, swelling, and fatigue. Linda didn't stop eating fish. She just switched to wild-caught salmon and smaller fish. Within a month, her joint pain was cut in half. She could kneel in the garden again, something she hadn't done in 2 years. Yellow circle, what you can do. Avoid tilapia, unless you know the source. Farmed salmon, especially imported. Fish labeled generically as Atlantic salmon or whitefish. Choose instead wild-caught Alaskan salmon, Arctic charty, sardines. Herring, rainbow trout. Tip: look for fish labeled wild, sustainably caught, or from cold, clean waters. If you can't access wild fish, consider high-quality fish oil supplements to avoid contaminants. Sparkle's deeper truth: the word salmon doesn't guarantee health. And tilapia isn't always light and clean. After 60, your immune system becomes more reactive, and if you feed it inflammation, it will respond with pain. Choose fish that heal, not harm. Dried and salted fish, a quiet threat to kidneys and joints. Ramon is 74. Every week he buys a small bag of dried fish from the market. It's tradition, a taste of childhood. He eats it with rice, sometimes at breakfast, sometimes for dinner. He doesn't snack, he drinks tea. He walks daily, but his blood pressure keeps rising. His ankles swell. His back aches at night. His doctor adjusts the meds. Nothing helps. Until his niece, a dietitian, says one word: salt. Salt, the hidden danger in traditional fish. Dried fish, salted cod, anchovy snacks, stockfish. They're staples in many cultures. But they come with a heavy sodium load, often 10 to 20 times higher than fresh fish. Some contain 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams. Preservatives, like nitrates or benzoates, to prevent spoilage. Histamines, which can trigger inflammation or allergies. Risk of bacterial toxins if not stored properly. For adults over 60, this is a problem. Why? Revolving light, the impact on the aging body. Elevates blood pressure, right-pointing arrow puts strain on arteries and kidneys. Causes fluid retention, right-pointing arrow swelling in legs and feet. Triggers gout or joint pain in salt-sensitive individuals. Can worsen kidney disease, even at early stages. Increases fall risk due to stiff legs or numbness from swelling. And worse, seniors often don't realize it. They don't taste the extra salt. They just feel more tired, heavier, stiffer. Ramon stopped eating dried fish for a month. He added grilled sardines, fresh mackerel, and steamed trout instead. Result? Blood pressure stabilized. Less swelling. He walked farther, without resting every 10 minutes. He says, "I thought I was eating light. Turns out, it was the salt that was weighing me down." Yellow circle, what you can do. If dried or salted fish is a regular part of your meals, limit it to once a week in small portions. Rinse salted fish in water before cooking. Avoid pairing it with other high-sodium foods, like soy sauce or pickles. Replace with steamed, grilled, or baked fish with herbs and lemon. Stay under 1,500 milligrams of sodium daily, especially if you have high blood pressure, gout, kidney issues, swelling or poor circulation in the legs. Sparkles, deeper truth. What's traditional isn't always harmless, and what comforted your past may be quietly harming your future. After 60, your kidneys don't whisper when they're tired. They go silent until it's too late. Protect them now by choosing fish that nourish, not overload. Do your knees ache when you stand? Do your hands feel stiff in the morning? Do your ankles swell even when you've barely moved? You might blame aging. You might think it's just your joints wearing out. But what if something small, like the fish in your pantry, is making things worse day after day? Let's look at what's really inside that can. Canned sardines, tuna and sprats, hidden oils and metals. Rita is 69. She lives alone and cooks simply. Her go-to meal? Sardines in oil, or sprats, or a can of tuna with crackers. It's quick, affordable, and healthy, right? But Rita started noticing joint pain. Not just in her knees, in her fingers, wrists, even her neck. She chalked it up to arthritis until a friend shared something surprising. It wasn't just the fish. It was the oil inside the can and what the can was made of. Fire extinguisher, the problem with canned fish, especially in oil. Canned fish can be healthy, but many store-bought brands contain hidden risks. Warning 1, inflammatory oils. Cheap oils like soybean or sunflower oil, rich in omega-6, promote inflammation, especially in joints. Disrupt omega-3 balance right, pointing arrow, more pain, swelling. Warning 2, metals and BPA. Cans may leach aluminum, tin, or BPA. BPA disrupts hormones and worsens inflammatory response. Trace metals can build up in tissues, right pointing arrow fatigue, joint tightness. Warning 3, preservatives and sodium. High salt content in brine-packed fish. Preserved for shelf life, not senior health. For older adults with arthritis, gout, autoimmune issues, or slow recovery from activity. These foods can quietly make movement harder and pain last longer. Rita switched to sardines in olive oil, tuna in water, drained, fresh cooked mackerel or salmon once a week. She also added turmeric and greens to reduce inflammation. 3 weeks later, she could open jars again. Her hands stopped throbbing at night, and her knees no longer flared up after walking. Yellow circle, what you can do. If you eat canned fish, avoid vegetable oil blends. Choose olive oil or water-packed. Check sodium content. Aim for under 300 milligrams per serving. Choose BPA-free cans or switch to jar-packed fish. Drain and rinse canned fish before eating and balance it out. Add anti-inflammatory foods, leafy greens, olive oil, berries. Cut sugar and processed snacks that amplify joint pain. Sparkle's deeper truth. Not all fish in a can is bad, but the oil, the metal, the salt can undo the good. After 60, you don't have time for food that causes more pain. Choose what supports your steps, not what steals them. Big fish, big risk, the memory-harming catch. Harold is 77. He still drives, still balances his checkbook, still reads every day. But lately, something feels off. He misplaces things. Can't find words in conversations. Feels like his thoughts are foggy. He eats well, or so he thought. 2 or 3 times a week. Grilled tuna steaks, or fish tacos with sea bass. Then his neurologist asked the question that changed everything. How often do you eat large fish? DNA, the mercury memory connection. Larger fish like big-eye tuna, Chilean sea bass, marlin, mahi-mahi, wahoo, may look clean, fresh, and healthy, but they're mercury traps. Mercury accumulates in gray matter of the brain, nerve tissues, kidneys and liver. And after 60, your body struggles to clear it. The result? Memory problems, trouble concentrating, mood swings, sleep disturbances, even early signs of cognitive decline. One study in neurology followed seniors with moderate mercury exposure. Those with high levels scored worse on memory and executive function tests, even without diagnosed dementia. Harold stopped eating tuna and sea bass weekly. He replaced them with sardines, trout, and wild salmon, all low in mercury, high in omega-3s. 2 months later, his focus improved. He said, "It's like my brain could breathe again." Yellow circle, what you can do. Avoid large predator fish more than once a month. Big-eye tuna, sea bass, mahi-mahi, marlin, wahoo, swordfish. Choose instead wild-caught salmon, herring, sardines, Arctic charty, trout. And support your brain with B12, choline, and omega-3 rich foods. Adequate sleep and hydration. Regular walks to improve blood flow. You were told fish is always healthy. But not every fish was made for your body after 60. Some support your strength. Some steal it, slowly, silently, one bite at a time. Your legs, your joints, your brain, they all remember what you eat. It's not too late to change the story. Subscribe to Speech Balloon Longevity Talks Herb for more honest, practical, and science-backed health advice for life after 60. And if you still eat any of these fishes, or stopped because of this video, leave a comment with #FishFacts so we know you're here, learning with us. Your choices still matter, and they always will.